It's like Groundhog Day, this, isn't it? We just moved, just literally went through the hole in the wall.
We're back.
We're back. With something completely different this time. This isn't something you can do on your scan and cut, is it? And the tool itself is on a silly price. So let's talk about our team first. We've got Amanda, who's going to be demonstrating for you. We've got Katie on cameras. Yeah, she's got used to it now. She knows she didn't get away with it. And we've got Sophie producing.
Hiya.
There you go, all of us. Right, so you can watch us on lots of different platforms. So you can watch us on YouTube. You can also watch us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. If you want to shop on either Facebook or Instagram, it's super easy. We're going to show you a product, and that product will have a code. And all you need to do is type shop and then that code into the comments underneath the video, and that will pop that product into a basket for you. I know, it's really clever, isn't it? We had a new young lady, Emily, start yesterday, and I told her, she went, "That's brilliant." I was like, I know. So if the youngsters think it's great, it's got to be great, right? So you can, we're going to pop that into your basket, then we're going to send you a link. And the link will come in the form of a message to your social media inbox. You're going to click on that link. That will take you to highlightcrafts.com, where all you need to do then is log into your account. That's important because then you get your club benefits. So you get extra discount, loyalty points, and on a basket spend over £35, no postage. So you get all of that included just by having an account with us, which is brilliant, and the club's free. So why not? Then you can log in and check out your baskets. Now, if you want to watch us directly on highlightcrafts.com, you can do so. Just go onto the website, click watch live, press play, and all the items in that show will appear down the right hand side of your screen for you. So it's super, super easy to do. All you need to do then is select the items that you wish to purchase, and they will appear in a little red shopping bag at the top of your screen. When you're ready to log in and check out, click on that bag and it will take you through that process. Now you can also shop ahead. So if you go to highlightcrafts.com, on the homepage there is a banner that says shop today's deals, and that will open up everything that's in every show throughout today. So you can fill that basket and get your free postage, which is great, right? Love that. Right, Miss Amanda, what have we got today? We've got pyrography. What is pyrography, please, if anybody doesn't know?
So pyrography is a heated tool. It is very hot, and you put brass heads as a screw, so it's actually a screw in, okay, so they're threaded into the nib of the pen that gets hot. You hold it like a pen and you use it like a pen, okay? And then what you do with that is that you transfer an image using our transfer paper onto raw wood, sanded back, nice clean surface for you to actually do that to. And then when the actual pyrography tool is hot, you literally trace round those lines. If you're a really good artist, you can just freehand, okay? Or you can do your handwriting, etc. It's super, super simple to use. Within the machine, the actual tool that we've got on today, you're getting several nibs that you can actually do mark making with, and then there are what we classify as stamp nibs, okay? And what they are circular discs like this. They've got an image engraved into the flat surface, and you literally do exactly that. You stamp with them, okay? You hold the machine vertically and you just stamp with them, and it then transfers that image and burns it into the wood. However, for what you get in here, you can have all singing, all dancing, super duper everything, bells and whistles that you can possibly have machine. But when you're learning, and even myself now, being on that journey, and I do a lot of pyrography at home, this machine is one of the ones that I just go to and pick it out because I don't need to mess or faff. You plug it in, there's no temperature control, so you don't have to guess. There's no, oh, I forgot, hot enough, no, it's not quite. Switch it in, it's one temperature, okay? Plug it in and go. When you're actually changing your nibs, allow it to cool down, so just unplug it and allow it to cool down. It comes with everything that you can possibly need. So it's got a little metal stand in there as well, which you'll see over on my desk, okay? And when it's cooled down, you just unscrew that nib that you've been using and screw in the one that you want to go to. But everything that is behind, all this that you can see, all of the detail has all been done with one nib, okay? So your fine nib that is in the machine there, to the right hand, to that piece there, that one, that little one, is what's done all of that detail.
Fabulous, aren't they? What great gift ideas. If you've been buying wooden blanks from us. Right, question. I'm going to ask all the questions that the customer, our lovely friends at home would ask. MDF?
No.
Okay. Varnished wood?
No, it has to be sanded back,
Right,
okay?
okay.
Because obviously the heat, they suggest not, I mean, if you want to burn onto MDF, you can, but you'll need the right PPE, all right? You're going to have a ventilator to use it, okay? It's not recommended. Nobody out there in the pyrography, any world, will recommend burning onto MDF at all, because it's just not worth it because of all the stuff that's in the MDF. When you've got something that's varnished, when you think about varnish, it's a resin or a plastic, okay? And again, when you're burning into that, you don't really want to burn into it, again, because it will give off a fume. And also, it does mess with your design. Because it melts, it peels and bubbles and peels away like that.
Right.
So you get this horrible, like, fringe or a frill down where you've burnt it, and you've got to sand that back anyway, so you might as well sand it back to a nice clean surface to work with. So if you're upcycling furniture, I have seen a few things just recently and I thought it looked lovely. You know, like you upcycle furniture and they put the rice papers on and then they do the blend into the middle so it's solid and then it's faded around the rice paper. If you're doing that with furniture that you've already got, sand out the oval. So then you've got the blend already. You've sanded them back to the wood. You can then do your pyrography onto your wood. And then if you get a slightly different colour varnish, you can create that faux soft image panel in the middle. So if you don't want to sand back the whole piece of furniture, just do the bit and do a faux fade around the outside edge. It's brilliant.
Right, so if you want a pyrography tool today, it's shop tool, it's $19.99 and you've got a £7.30 saving on that.
It's incredible.
$19.99 for a brand new craft.
I know, it is, and it is a brand new craft. Now, we've said this a lot just recently, so within the tool, let me just finish talking about the tool. These are your 3 stamp heads, okay? Those are the 3 flat ones. Then you've got 4 extra nibs, okay? 2 look like a knife, so you can do calligraphy if you want, if you're good at that kind of thing. I'm not, I just use them for mark making. But then you've then got the 2 other nibs as well. And all you're going to do to start off with is get a piece of wood that's clean, okay, pine, whatever it may be, or you know, this kind of, mark it off into 2-inch grids, put a nib in and mark the wood and learn what that tool does, what that nib is can give you when you're working with it. Whether you use it straight up and down like that and do your little lines and then you do cross hatches, whether you actually glide across and colour in and do a fade, but do at least, try and think of at least 4 different techniques for each nib and do yourself a mark board, okay? And it's really easy, but it then teaches you also the temperature of what the machine gets to. And then you're well away. Once you've actually got that muscle memory and there's no pressure. When you're working with a burning tool, you'll see people when they start working, they're pressing on. You literally tickle the top of the surface. And the gooder, the darker the burn, the more intense that you want, you just slow. When I go over there, and I'll show you in a minute, if I go over the wood like that and I'm quick, it won't touch the wood, it doesn't mark it, just scratches it, doesn't do anything. You've got to slow down, and the slower you go, the slower the burn, the darker the actual line that you get. It's fabulous.
Lovely. Right, so Shop Tool is going to get you that for $19.99. Remember, that's before your club discount. Right, let's talk about these blanks. Well, first of all, I want to come over here, please, because this is back in stock. So we had this on with David last week. It's sold out in the show. We've managed to get some more. I don't know whether we've got a lot more or a little more. Katie? I'm not opening that sellotape.
An average amount more? I
think it's the same again as what we had previously.
You sound like brother. How many have you got? Oh, we've got enough to last us a year. Have you? Then the next thing, it's out of stock. We sold it all. Right, so your alphabet is in here. So you're getting a different nib there. This is the one that David was using last week to make poinsettia flowers. How fabulous is that for Christmas, right? That's just done with that one tip there. They're brilliant, aren't they? So if you want an alphabet so you can personalise, I think what I would do is draw out a grid. So I'd measure the width and the height. Well, it's going to be the same, isn't it, because it's a circle. Draw a little grid out of squares like that in pencil, and then you know that you're getting your letters straight and positioning. But Shop Alphabet is going to get you that for $29.99, which is brilliant because now you can really personalise all your projects, which is fab. So you could have all individual coasters, you could do it on key rings, we've got chopping boards, we've got all sorts. Right, Amanda, let's whiz down this counter, please, and then we can get into demos so people can see how this is used. Right, so Shop Twin is going to get you two. Do you want to go and get ready for demo? And I'll whiz down here. We'll get you two of these frames. They are 15.8 centimetres outside edge and 8 centimetres of your inside. These for Christmas gifts will be fabulous. New baby announcements, wedding invitations, all that kind of stuff, okay? So Shop Twin will get you both of those for $9.98. I need a price, please, because I haven't written my price down, standard. Shop Key is $9.98. Shop Key. Wow. Okay, you're getting two of these for £9.98 before your club discount. Less than £5 each, and these are fab. Because look, you can pyrography inside, but you've got your little hooks for your keys. How cool is that?
And then put keys on the outside.
And you put keys on the outside with your alphabet. Even if you're not going to use it for pyrography, that with your rice papers will look amazing, okay? So Shop Key, two of them, $9.98. That's mad, isn't it? Love that. Right, Shop Nature next. You've got a £9.95 saving on this. You're going to get two of the door hangers. You're also going to get two of your slices. I love these. House number. Aquastone, house number. Cool, right? So you're going to get two of those, and then you're also going to get the wood slices as well, so the elongated ones. Shop Nature, $17.99 for all of that. So if you bought the pyrography tool today and you got that, you've got a brand new craft under £20. £30, under £30, then your discount. Sorry, my brain's really tired this week. I don't know what's going on. Right, wood, made of wood bundle. That's that one. No, this one. Right, made of wood bundle. So you've got your tree in there and you've got your gonks. Love these gonks. How cool are these? You've got your baby gonk as well. Then you've got your mushroom or your toadstools. And then you've got your little pack of little mini toadstools as well. These are super cute. Shop Wood, $17.99. You've got a £7.96 saving on that. Now, Shop Frame, you're going to get 4 of the squares and 4 of the rectangles for $22.49. Lovely table settings, those, or gifts. These would be lovely as a little wedding gift, wouldn't it, with a photograph inside, or even a birth announcement. Send out a frame with a picture of the baby, and that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Right, I'll just finish this, then I'll say hello to a few of you. We've got Shop Rectangle is going to get you this one, middle one. Right, Shop Rectangle is going to get you the 25 centimetre board for $9.99. Front and back, you could do this, couldn't you? How lovely is that? Shop Board is going to get you that one, 28 centimetres for $9.99. And Shop Round will get you the table tennis bat, right? Those look like a table tennis bat, don't they? I think we should have 2 of these, Casey. We should get table tennis in the green room upstairs and we can play. Yeah, absolutely. And all lunchtime, that'd be really cool, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Dartboard on the wall, table tennis. I'll let you tell Carl that one. Right, Shop Round, we'll get you that for $9.99. Right, Shop Coaster is going to get you 6 of these fabulous wooden coasters with their little stand as well. They are shop coaster, $9.99. If you want your transfer paper, the white one, you're going to get 4 sheets, 9 inch by 13 inches, and you reuse this over and over and over and over and over and over again. Shop white, $5.99. That's if you're going on to darker colours. If you're going on to lighter colours, shop grey, we'll get you that one for $5.99. Now we do have some finger protectors here as well. So we got them back in stock for you because they sold out last week when David and I were on with them. But you've got your finger protectors. So when you're using heat, if you're worried about that, little finger protectors. I want to do what were they called? Finger bobs. Finger bobs, like that. Those little mice. Right, so you're going to get 12 of those. 2 on your big toes, I guess. Who knows? 12 of them. Shop Protect, $7.99. Right, Alphabet. Shop Alphabet. If you missed out on it last week when David and I were there, you need to get this in your basket and get it checked out. That's the one that made those little poinsettias or those flowers. Could be daisies, could be poinsettias, could be whatever you want it to be. Shop Alphabet, $29.99. And I'm just going to go over this with you because this is brilliant for tracing. 10% of the alphabet is already allocated and in people's baskets. This is just, oh, it makes my heart sing because it reminds me of my dad, but you're getting 4 of the mechanical pencils, 0.3, 0.5, 0.7 and 0.9. That's the lead width. You're also getting 30 replacements for each one of the pencils. There's an eraser in the top underneath the lid. You get spare ones of those as well. And this is the best way to transfer those designs because you get a very fine line with a mechanical pencil. Shop pencil, $12.99. Right, Amanda?
Ready?
Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Just say good morning to a few people. Right, so Lorraine says, Mel, are you getting some different sets of tips for the pyrography tool that doesn't include the alphabet, please?
I don't know, but I'm sure we can look into some.
Yeah. Katie says we can look into some. And Katie's in charge today because Stephanie's not here. There you go. There you are, Katie. There's some pressure. Everyone's going, no. Even Stephanie doesn't want to be in charge. Good morning to Lorraine, Jackie, Snowy, Lynn, Monica, Sarah Jane, Amanda, Julie, Karen, another Amanda, Sandra, Davina, Mitch is there this morning, Leslie B, Pat Mussett. I'm sorry if I miss you out, but there's loads of you. Wendy's there, Sue, Davina, Highlight Crafts. Morning, team.
Morning, team.
Alison Pearson's there, Tracy, loads of you joining us this morning, so thank you ever so much. Barbara B, still here. Carol Lewis, still here, but in and out of the kitchen. Kitchen's finished. She's now rebuilding it again, which is great. Pauline, Jackie, all of you, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Right, Amanda, off you pop.
So, I was super excited when, actually I wasn't, I was upset because they launched this when I weren't here. This alphabet.
That's what you get for taking time off.
I know, right? Must not do that. So the flower, so I've put flower on here and this is going to be the giveaway. So when we do the spin the wheel or we do the giveaway, when we draw it, dragonfly, type in dragonfly below and that is the giveaway today, what I actually made on a video yesterday showing you how to work it. Now, what I have come to realise with, obviously with the pyrography and everything, all of your nibs are actually brass. So you have to be very careful and they're brass for a reason, okay, because it conducts heat beautifully and also it conducts heat the same all the way through it. You don't get any cold spots, etc. within a piece of brass. It will heat up and then it will all, because it's uniform across all of it. So one of the things also that I would say about the circles, like Mel said, do yourself a grid. However, because they are brass, they are really easy to mark. Now, to do something, I wouldn't normally say deface something, okay? But for me personally, I'm actually going to do this for myself because it will make life so much easier. I'm going to mark top and bottom. So when it's actually in it and it's upside down, I can see that I've got top and bottom and also left and right, okay? So when you've got a S, you don't want it to be skewed. This will mark very, very easily, okay? So either a little knife or your pokey tool, put scratches on them where they need to be, and then they're going to line up brilliantly. And then, like Mel suggested, put a grid down. Okay, so do a crosshatch grid. So when you hover over it, because when you do pencil onto wood, wood at the end of the day is well, paper is wood, isn't it? That's where we get the paper from. Do it the right way around. It's not wood that's paper. Yeah, it's that. Yes, it's where we get the paper from. So you can rub it out. So it doesn't matter what marks and things. And if you can't rub it out, really gentle sandpaper. One of the things that you will find is one of your favourite that becomes a favourite tool when you're actually doing pyrography are nail files. That's the best thing you can have for getting rid of marks. You know the spongy ones, Mel, and you get the different grits.
Yeah.
You know, the thicker ones, you can get them in different grits. So get them in a multiple of grits because they're just small. And if you've got a little bit of a mark, then you're not getting a big sanding block out and having to work with it. So they become top tool for you to have. Now, because I haven't yet done the marking, I've thought of what I actually want to do with this. So I've got my little chopping board, and it's the natural one. Okay, so it's all lovely and clean and sanded. There's nothing on here to cause me any issues. I've taken a piece of card and I've made, you know, you do the loops, you know, when you get in tape, you're getting the dog hair off you. I've done a couple of loops like that on the back of here, and I'm just going to sit them on top like that. And I've only done that for ease. I haven't had to have a ruler out and measure it and get it, it's kind of in the middle, okay? Because I don't want to do lots of lines on my work. So I've opted to get the word or get the letters that spell kitchen. But I'm not going to spell the word kitchen. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put them on here on the background randomly. Because if you're thinking, well, I can't use an alphabet, I can't get them straight. You don't need to get them straight. Doing this kind of technique, so you know, like you do your stamping, okay, and this is how you use it when you're using the stamp elements that are within your tool. You use it straight up like that, okay? Vertically, thank you. And what I've been doing is, if you didn't already know, you can actually burn watercolour cardstock, only watercolour cardstock, because it's actually got fibres and things in there. So only use watercolour when you're doing this. And what I've been doing is, I've got it in here. Now, can you see? These are nice and shiny. Can you pick out the ones that I've actually been using to burn with? They change colour. Do not worry about that. It does discolour once heat's been on it, okay? It's like seasoning metal, okay? Once it's been heated up, you will find that the pieces will change colour, and that's just the nature of the brass. So I'm just, because I've no idea which way up that is, I'm just going to pop that on there. Yeah, so I know I've got a K.
Judy's asking, how do you attach the alphabet to the iron, please?
Right, it's a thread, okay? So on here, if you're coming close...
So if we're not having any problems with our screen, carry on.
It's the little
Not
thread.
any problems with our screen, are we?
Okay, and I always use a pair of pliers when it's still warm, because I'm not suggesting that any of you do this, because I'm doing it because of speed, okay? You should unplug it and let it go cold to take it in and out. But for speed of me doing this, some of these are still going to be quite warm. That's why I've got my little silicone mat to one side to drop them onto, okay? So it's a thread, and all you do, it's just like a screw, and you just screw it in, thread it into the top. Now, as you can see, that one's gone like a pinky colour. That's hot. If the longer you leave it, it actually goes quite white. Okay, and that's just, again, how just how it works. That's just the nature of what it is. And you can see that it's changing colour, but I've not had to screw it all the way in. You don't have to screw it all the way down and make it nice and tight. That's not how, just as long as it's in the end, because the heat will transfer. Okay, I've got my little stand that comes with the machine, and I've got it taped down to the surface. And the reason I tape it down when I'm using it is because it's quite shiny metal, and you don't want to be chasing it around the desk. So I always affix mine with some tape so I know I'm not having to chase it about my desk, okay?
Lorraine says, I don't have time to wait for it to cool down. I'm impatient, so I just use my pliers.
Yeah.
That's what David did last week. Just use the pliers.
Ta-da!
Absolutely.
But also, please remember, okay, this is metal, this is metal, this is metal, these are metal. Even when you think that they may have cooled down, please be cautious because they won't have. Because that has been stood on there, so I can't touch this at the moment because obviously it's transferred
Okay, I have
heat.
a question then.
Yep.
If we had a little glass dish with the water in it, could we put them in there to cool them down?
No.
Okay.
No, because you're tempering the brass and then it would crack. Okay, you don't want that. Okay, just let them cool naturally. They do cool down quite quickly, but just let them cool down
half
naturally.
the stock of the alphabet. Right, Amanda, let's see this in action, please.
So, and I'm not bothered if I get a proper... So I've chosen to go, and I'm going to rotate it round. Oh, it smells amazing.
It's like bonfire night.
Okay, that's all it is. So I'm not bothered if I get a true print on some of this because the idea is I'm creating a background, okay? So I need to find the letters that spell kitchen because that's the idea. I'm going to have all the letters around it in jumbled up places. So I know that's the I, so now I can take that one out. So to do that, I'm just going to hold on to the pliers. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, okay? And just remember, I just get hold of it with the pliers, okay? And just give it, I'm just going to make sure that that's level so the thread's sticking out the bottom. And I'm just threading that back into there like so, okay? It's so easy, so easy. Now, I've just got to leave that to warm up a little bit and the colour will change so you'll know it's hot. Now, I love the fact that it is something that can be, like I was going to say over there, I've just remembered where I was going with it. You know, like we've been telling you, when we bring you a product, we bring you something that's going to enhance what you've already got. So you get everything else out. Now, when you've got something like this, yes, you can trace anything that is your Minecraft Studio Digistamps. Once you've printed them, you use your graphite paper and you use it shiny side down like so, okay? Then you put your image over the top and you draw around it with your mechanical pencil. That then transfers it to what you're burning. And that's exactly what I've done with all of these because I can't draw for toffee. I can do stick figures and I can do scenes, houses, buildings, but I can't do people for anything. So I have to trace it, okay? Now, that's exactly what I did here, but this is a stamp. So if you're a stamper and you've got hundreds of stamps, because I know you have, if you stamp it then onto a lovely flat surface, because we've brought you all these fabulous blanks, you can use your VersaFine Clair, but use a grey or a brown ink, okay? And then that way, when you burn across it, it disappears, the ink disappears. Because I've made the mistakes. I thought, oh, I've only got red out. It's fine, I'll use red. When I then burnt it, I ended up with a foxing of red down each side of my burn line, okay? And if you want that, that's brilliant. But if not, use a grey or a brown to burn, okay? Which is fantastic. Now, all of your stencils that you've got, you can do this, okay? So maybe you've got all of you've been using your, please help me.
I don't know what you mean, love. I can't.
Stephanie did it last night.
Airbrush
Tool, okay? If you've got that and you've airbrushed one of those stencils and you do it onto a piece of wood, okay? That is ink. It doesn't affect your burning tool. It's not varnish or anything like that. It's only ink. Then you take your stencil away and you can now go around all of those pieces on that stencil.
Okay, so question.
Yes?
You can't put your pyrography tool straight through a stencil,
Absolutely
right?
not.
You have to draw on the inside of it and then pyrography it.
Yes.
Right, can we see this in action, Amanda, please?
So I have to wait for the nib to warm up.
Oh, okay.
So we've done the K. Okay, now you can see, look, that's gone white. Okay, you can see the definite difference. Yep, that's now white. So that's now hot. So now I'm just going to, you can test it again on an extra piece if you've got a piece that you want to test it on.
Right, Cheryl's asking, can the wood be coated in gesso first before stamping? Does it create a problem?
No, you can't put anything on the
No,
wood.
it needs to be raw wood.
It has to be raw wood. So now I'm just going to create a background. I'm going to rotate it round. So all I'm going to do, can you see how easy this is? I mean, it couldn't be any easier, really. So have I spaced I out enough? So now I'm going to change that and put T in. K-I-T, kitchen, is that right?
You know how to spell kitchen, Amanda.
Do you know, not always. Sometimes, like you said earlier, I can be in the middle of writing something down and it's like, well, what was that next letter? And of course, I can find all, let's just change it for the E because I found the E. And again, hold it with my pliers, unscrew, okay. And I'm going to pick up the new one. I'm going to pop the tool back down. Always take it back to the stand. Never just lay it down on your table. Always replace it to the stand. Okay. Popped it in there. And again, screw that into the top. And then just allow that to warm up again.
Right, so Cheryl said online videos suggest pack of ice to put the brass tips on, mainly the wax seal stamps. The difference between that and pyrography, Cheryl, is that the metal that you push into your wax melt isn't hot. It's the wax that's hot. So you need to make sure that you're not, it's a completely different thing. If you're doing pyrography, the brass fixing gets hot. When you're doing your wax seals, the wax gets hot. So it's a different thing. That's probably why they're saying putting it on ice, but not with your pyrography, because that tip is hot. Like really, really red, like a red hot poker hot. Right, okay. Next.
It is really hot. So the rig that I have at home, I've got a big one because obviously I do it a lot. That goes up to about 500 degrees, which is hot.
Right. Can you show us how to trace an image and then how
Yes,
to go around
absolutely.
it with a line, please?
So let me just finish off with this one and then I'm going to put in my actual drawing nib, which is this one. Now, like I suggested, everything that I've actually done is with that one nib. You don't have to have, when you're starting something quite new, you don't have to have everything to be bells and whistles, okay? And look how I'm using it. I'm going to rotate it round. It's just straight up. It could not be any simpler, all right? It's so easy to work with. It's beautiful. So now I'm going to take out that nib.
Right.
Again, unscrew that. Pop that in there. I'm going to put that one back in. And again, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
Right, well, that's heats up. I'm going to do a quick recap down the counter. That's all right with everybody. So, your pyrography tool. Fancy a new craft for under £20 today? Something that's going to enhance. Think about all those digi-stamps that you've got in Minecraft Studio. I know, right? How cool is that? So, your wood-burning tool, plus your different tips in there. So, you've got one in there, two there. So, you've got in total 7 different nibs. Comes with obviously the correct electric, so this is UK only, and it also shows you on the back what the pattern of those nibs is. Okay, so you can get a clear understanding of which is which is great. Shop tool, £19.99. You've got a £7.50 saving. If you think I would buy this for Mick because he'd love doing that, right? He'd be going out, cutting a branch off a tree, cutting it down, what it's like. So wood burning tool, £19.99, and that's before your club discount. And then you'll get your points on top. Right, if you fancy a couple of wooden frames, so if I just grab the one that David did last week with the pyrography tool, look how lovely this looks. So he's used that one nib that comes with the alphabet and then created all of these branches and then the leaves and then the little flower. Isn't that just fabulous? And then you could aquastone that over the top as well, which will be great. So if you want 2 of those frames, 9.99 shop twin. This is a deal and a half for me, this. If you want 2 of these wooden key cabinets, whether they're for rice paper paint or for your pyrography, whatever you want to do with them is entirely up to you. They even have the little hooks on the back, the brass fittings at the back, so you can hang it up. So you even get those. And look, somebody's been playing around in here. 20% of these are allocated and in people's baskets. I'm not surprised. That is crazy value. £4.50 each. Discount? Mad.
Put hooks in the bottom, Mel, and put your dog leads underneath it.
You could, yeah, put your hooks and put your dog leads underneath it. Absolutely. Right, next, nature. So in your nature bundle, you're going to get 2 of the wood slices. And they, oh, I love raw wood. Look how beautiful that is. In Mother Nature, amazing. You're going to get 2 of those, and then 2 of your oval ones here. These would be great for doors, wouldn't they? Dad's shed, Nana's shed, craft room, all of that kind of stuff. Shop Nature will get you those. Shop Wood is going to get you the tree, the big gonk, the baby gonk, the mushrooms, and the little toadstools that are in there as well. That is Shop Wood, $17.99. We've then got Shop Frame. Sorry, I keep catching my throat today. 4 square and 4 rectangular for $22.49. These are great for gifts. So it's less than £3 each, but that gift, so you could give that with a little packet of wax melts that we had on the candle making yesterday, and everything's homemade. How lovely would that be, right? Fantastic. Shop Frame, $22.49. Right, if you want Shop Rectangle, which is this chopping board, this is the one that, no, the other one's Amanda working on. 25 centimetres from top to bottom, $9.99, Shop Rectangle. If you want this one, Shop Board, Shop Board, 28 centimetres, $9.99. Remember, these are all before your discounts. If you want your table tennis bats, Shop Round, $9.99. I need to make that happen now. We need a dartboard as well, teach everybody how to add up. Right, Shop Round, $9.99. If you want a set of 6 coasters with the actual holder itself, these are Shop Coaster, $9.99. That's fabulous, isn't it? Aquastone over the top. Then you've got your transfer paper, so your white or your grey, Shop White or Shop Grey, $5.99 for each of those. Then you've got your finger protectors, if you think that you might need finger protectors. Your hand's quite a lot. 1 left. Love these, don't you? You love these. These are proper funny. Wait till you see the next lot. That's an interesting one, the next lot. It's hilarious. Right, so Shop Protect, 12 of them for $7.99. So they're little round like that and bright pink, and I came in and said, Stephanie, when do we start selling condoms then? Because they look just like that. But they're finger protect. Oh, don't. Anyway, Alphabet. Shop
David
Alphabet. I know, I'm sure they set it up for me and David. I'm sure they do. I'm absolutely certain that they set it up. So Shop Alphabet is going to get you all your letters and your 2 extra tips. That's the one that David used to make that lovely flower. Shop Alphabet, over half the stock is gone, and it's $12.99. Right, Amanda, let's see this in action, please.
So again, all I've done is change the nib. And like I said, we've reconfigured everything. So I went into our lovely Minecraft studio, went into my Digistamps, and I just got lots of butterflies, okay? When you're working with your transfer paper, it's exactly the same stuff that Stephanie uses when she does her flowers, okay? You can use it again and again and again. It isn't one use only.
Sorry, Amanda, to interrupt. Carol Lewis, if you're watching, it's not our end. She says her screen keeps buffering and freezing. It's not our end, Carol. It's got to be your end, I'm afraid, darling.
Sorry, darling. As you can see, I've used this already. And down here, and I'm going to use it again. You can just keep going with it.
Right, so Judy, no, there's no numbers, but you could do what Amanda's going to do now. So print out numbers and then draw over them. And Wendy Corbett says, OMG, Mel, good job they're not on with the candles. Yes, indeed. I'll let you know when that show's coming up, because that will be one for the wet floor sign and the tenor ladies, I feel.
Yeah, I'm just going to stand over there in the corner. So I'm going to pop on here. Now, all I've done is I've printed it out, okay, going round with my mechanical pencils, and like Mel suggested, oh, do you know when we had these come in, it was one of those it was one of those moments that took me back. And I thought, oh, my brothers used to have these. My dad used to have these when they were doing a bit of drawing and whatever. And I used to hang my nose at, no, you don't touch them. You're not allowed them. They are brilliant. And you get different leads as well, different widths of lead. So what I've done is I've gone into MCS. I've printed out some of my lovely butterflies. I'm using the graphite paper shiny side down. Now, I have made the mistake where I've just been busy creating, okay, done something, put my graphite paper on, carried on, and not realised I put it up the wrong way round. Then I've done a whole design, took it off, and there's no design there, but it was on the back of the paper. I have done that.
I'm sure most people have done that, love.
Oh dear. And it's like, what? What did I do that for? So all I'm doing now is literally, now I know all of us as kids did a bit of tracing, didn't we? It was one of my favourite things to do, doing a bit of tracing. And that's all I'm doing. So whether you want to do this with an image that you've printed off, or you want to do it with your stencils, because we have got so many stencils now. Even if you're doing a background, you know the background stencils that we've got, the paw prints and things like that. Use them as well.
I have a question.
Question?
Could you pyrography it and then go put the stencil back in place and then use your hot foil pen inside?
You absolutely can, because I've got one of those that I can show you.
Or you could do it the other way around.
No.
Where you
need to
pyrography
burn
it first.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then go back in with your foiling pen. Yeah, because whatever you go, there it is, look. Oh, and I did it the right way round. That was the shock.
So the foil won't go over the burn?
The foil will go over the burn, because if you burn on top of the foil, it just removes it.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
So I was saying you can either go in and draw inside a stencil and then go do the outline as pyrography and fill it in as foil.
Yeah.
Or you could do your pyrography and fill it in and then put your stencil back and go around the edge.
Yes.
That's what.
Yes, so it will work with it. You've just got to do it in the right order. Otherwise, it's like when you do your painting. If you do your pyrography, that's why all of this that you can see, this is watercolours, okay? So you've got watercolour paper, exactly the same, so you can paint. What you can't do is use your normal acrylic paint unless you water it down so it's like an ink.
Yeah.
Because all you're going to do is paint over and cover over your lines that you've already done. Now, I've got the nib in here, okay? You can see that it's hot because it's changed colour. Now, what I'm not going to do is go in and add an awful lot of pressure, okay? Because it does it, you don't have to do that. I'm literally going to, as a pen, you hold it on the rubber side, and I love that it's got the triangle shape, so it's really comfortable to hold. Now, I'm going to do myself a favour and lower it down a little bit. And something that you can also do, if you're working on something that's raised up, is work on your fist, like this, okay? Then you've got a pivot. Or get an old pair of socks, put rice into it and tie it up, and then use that, or sand. So you've got a little bit of something to rest your hand against, and it just makes it that you're stabilised a little bit. I like to use it where I use my fist. And you literally come into contact with the wood, and it's the tiniest little bit of pressure. I am not using anything else, okay? And I'm actually rolling my hand to draw with it, okay? Come into contact with the wood, and it's slow. And if you think that it's not dark enough, go back over it and slow down.
So the speed is reflected in the density of the colour.
It is, absolutely. That's exactly what happens. Okay, now you can do your lines like I've just done there, or like on these, when you've done your flowers, you might want to add in a little bit of texture. Now, there's lots of different mark making that you can do when you've got a pyrography tool, okay? So we can actually add in little dots. Now, if I just gently, look how fine a dot I've actually created with this, and that's just because it literally came into contact with the wood for the point of a second. The longer you leave it on there, the darker the burn is, okay? And it will spread out, so you'll get a bigger dot which is brilliant. Or you can do little circles when you're colouring in, which is something that I actually quite like to do. So if you want to colour in an area, what's on that side? We'll colour on this side so you can see. You just do tiny little circles like this.
Oh, finger protectors have gone. Well done.
And it creates, when you do a little colouring, and again, like Mel likes her colouring, the reason I absolutely fell in love with pyrography is because you can't rush it.
Yeah.
You've got to take your time, you've got to slow down, but it's all about creating texture as well. So I'm making these tiny little circles, but that's how I'm getting that texture within the wood, okay? So you can do alternate things. You can then, because if I go fast, doesn't do anything other than scratch the wood, and you don't want to do that. You have got to come into contact with the wood, go nice and slow. Dotting is one of my all-time favourite ways of adding light, dark and shade when you do that, because then when you colour it in, you get a beautiful effect like this. Okay, remember that's the giveaway. Type in dragonfly for this, but when you're actually using the tool, you just allow the tool to come into contact. We've got a lovely friend that came to one of our festivals when we were doing pyrography, and we did a beautiful Christmas tray, and she's gone away and she's now taking commissions because pyrography is, she found her favourite thing, and the pictures and photographs that she does now is phenomenal, and it's just practice, and just by coming and having a go at something has meant that she's now found her thing. And it's such a peaceful thing to do because, like I say, I'll go out into the garden, I'll set myself up on my patio table underneath my umbrella, and I just sit. And you've just got to slow down. But there's no, I'm not using any pressure whatsoever. I'm just allowing the tip to come into contact with that wood, and then allowing it to glide over that pencil line, and the pencil disappears. Now, if you don't quite keep within your pencil, don't worry about it, because you've got an eraser and it rubs it off. But how easy is it to do that? It's ridiculously easy. So, like we said, reinvigorating. Minecraft Studio. Said Minecraft Studio, all of that, I mean, we've brought you so many back catalogues, and then also imagine, like we said earlier, what did we have next door? Be positive, didn't we?
Yeah.
Those little animals, the dogs. So these are some different ones. Look at what you can be doing. So if you print off our Be Positive, the Dalmatian, Arthur and whatever, onto paper, then use your transfer paper and transfer them onto something like this or this, and then in Minecraft Studio, you haven't got to have a little one, make him big, pop him as big as he is in the middle of this. That's all I did with the bigger elements over there, is that I printed them bigger onto A4 sheets. They were all little tiny icons about this big. I just made them bigger, taped them down with my graphite paper underneath, did the outlines, and then went in and did all the detail. So imagine if you knew somebody that had a Dalmatian and you did the Dalmatian, or you did Montague or anybody like that, you can now do that. So you've got all of your Minecraft Studio, all of your digi-stamps from your Minecraft Studio of all of the collections of Two Red Robins, past, present and future. You can use it with it. Any stencils that we've brought you, whether they be backing stencils, it doesn't matter what it is, or even if you're not 100% sure with this, and we've brought you all of those font stencils, didn't we, just recently? Draw through them with a pencil, make a pencil mark, line them all up, and then pyrography them. That's the right word, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I'm going to go with it. Yes, it sounds all right, doesn't it? We'll go with that. Then then burn them is what the technical term is. So it is so much, and then all of your stencils that you've got, your backing stencils, all of your stamps, all of that is now going to be reinvigorated for you to be able to do this, and then make and sell to your heart's content, because you absolutely can.
Davina, can I ask a question, please? When would you use the white graphite paper if you're going onto dark surfaces? So if you're going onto something like a black canvas, you would use the white. So the grey goes on light colours, the white one goes on dark colours. 75% of the alphabet is now allocated and in people's baskets, and I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
Personalisation, so you get all your letters. You then also get that tool. Now, I'd pay $29.99 just for that tool, because to be able to make all your coasters for your Christmas table and make them look, those little flowers look like poinsettias, but then use the same one for the leaves, etc., is just brilliant, right? Shop Alphabet, that is $29.99. Right, let me just recap the tool quickly, and there's a couple of blanks that we didn't go to, so I want to go to those. So you're going to get your pyrography tool, obviously, certified correct electrics, all of that kind of thing. You've got 7 different tips in there, and this is what those 7 do. So you can see instantly what you're getting. I love this tool. I think a new craft for under £20 today is absolutely fabulous. And as we've been saying quite a lot, what we're trying to do here at Highlight Crafts is bring you one more thing that then reinvigorates all your stash. So all your regular stamps, all your digi-stamps, all your stencils, freehand, if that's what you love doing. You could Zentangle with it, doodle with it, do mindful moodling with it. All of those different things that we bring you, you could use with that tool. Shop tool, $19.99. Right, now then, we have the opportunity for you to get 3 of these little birdhouses. Again, they've got the hooks on the back. These are perfect for your pyrography. It could be carpenter household, it could be Heaton household, it could be go away, you're not welcome, whatever you prefer, whatever you prefer. I have a plaque, you'll like this, Katie, I have a plaque, and it says, and I see people walk up the drive, so they come up the drive and come along the path to do that. You know those that you see on places where someone famous lived? And mine says, I think it says in 1684, in this very, very spot, absolutely nothing happened. But they're too nosy, so they want to keep up there like that. Yeah. You can see them doing that with the glasses at the bottom of the garden. I'm like, just come and have a look. But that would be really quite fun. You could do that, couldn't you? One of those. Right, Shop Bird will get you 3 of those for $12.99. And then we've got these, and these are... They've gone. We haven't got those at all. They've gone. Well done if you got those. Wood slices. They seem to sell out time and time again, those, Katie. We need to get some more. Right, Amanda, back over to you for the last few minutes. We have, can you use the pyrography tool on canvas then? Oh, can you use on canvas? Yes, Davina, you can use the white one on canvas. And what did you paint the flower with, Amanda? Charlene is asking, please.
Watercolour pencils, okay, right. Or watercolour pens. And it's really easy to do. I've got, it's there, look, it's clear. That's why I can't find it.
Karen's saying, can you paint the wood first? No, Karen, it needs to be raw wood, unvarnished. Pyrographize sounds like a word, says Sarah Jane. It does kind of, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. So, when you're working with this, I've just put out a little bit, but it has to be watercolour, okay? Because if you use normal paint, you can't do this. So then you paint up to the edge, like so. And then
Amanda, if you... Go on, keep going. Amanda Connolly said she only paid £7.50 for hers with a discount and points.
Wow.
Wow. Right. Yeah, you
so
see.
Then you just move it. It's just like painting onto watercolour card.
Now this weekend, you keep watching Amanda, well, I'm talking to you. This weekend we are doing a special weekend. It's called Summer Crafting. And we have got all our, or some of our suppliers coming in. So we've got the launch of Debbie Moore. We have got launches from ourselves at Highlight Crafts. We've got Jamie Rogers coming in. We've got Christine from Pinflair. We've got Mark from Silvar Designs. We've got 2 new brands that you won't have seen here before, which is very exciting. And all this will be streaming on liveshopping.vip. Any of the highlight shows, so the ones with our products, will also stream on highlightcrafts.com. So you'll still be able to get all your discounts, etc. But we're going live from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday and Sunday. So join us for that as well, please. Davina says, so the tool won't burn through a canvas. No, you can't do pyrography on a canvas.
No,
it has to be on wood. Sorry, we were getting mixed up then between lots of different questions. Yeah. So yes, no, don't burn onto a canvas.
Not onto a
Needs
canvas,
to be wood.
but canvas paper.
Oh, giveaway and winner. Right, quick.
If
It's
it's
been
Is Lorna Crosby.
Lorna Crosby, and you have won 150 points, Lorna.
I'm going to chuck that in as well.
We're
for
going
you,
to chuck
darling.
that in for you as well. Right. Coming up next, I don't know.
Me
You
and Hannah.
and Hannah.
Happy hour.
And then I will be back with you on the other side of that wall for Scan and Cut at 12 o'clock, where we'll continue that baby bottle and also start the baseball cap. And then me and you at 1 o'clock with embossing folders. See you then. Bye.